Hello, history buffs out there. Today our scene opens up in the royal court of Spain. What great timing! Christopher Columbus is just now negotiating with the king and queen of Spain to let him sail the ocean blue for hopes of finding gold.
Hello, your highnesses. It's a me, Christopher Columbus. I will travel to India faster than anyone has ever gone before, and I will bring back riches.
Okay, sire, you're a bit crazy, frankly. Everyone else thinks that you were zinged in the head, but I trust your word and will fund your voyage.
Yeah, and we can lend you some of the most luxurious ships and friendliest crew for you too.
And just like that, he set sail on a voyage to India. We all know, however, that he ended up in an area which is now called the Caribbean Islands.
Mamma mia! My fellow boys, we have made it to India. I claim this land for Spain. There must be the Indians. Let's do some trading. Cumin, cayenne, cinnamon, here we come!
Hey man, what is that big shiny stick that everybody's got in their hands?
It's called a sword. Allow me to demonstrate.
I send my condolences to the family of that native. Just like what you saw here, the Europeans had an extreme advantage over Native Americans, one of these being weaponry. Europeans used modern weapons like swords and guns in order to trade with natives, but also to take advantage of their women, land, and goods. This distribution per se of ideas, religion, disease, and foreign crops is commonly referred to as the Columbian Exchange. We'll mainly focus on the diseases portion of it in this video.
How do you have so much stuff? What?
Oh, we trade a lot. It's kind of a big deal.
Wait, you mean there's more tribes of you people?
Yes, there are over 112 million people in our world. Don't you know? You Indians have traded with us plenty of times. That's why we have so many cool things.
The Europeans had much greater trade networks, which allowed them to have many goods from all over Europe. The native tribes scarcely traded beyond a few local tribes. They had many textiles too, which allowed them to be much more fashionable than the natives and more protected from the elements. However, health-wise, the native peoples of the Americas were much healthier than the people of Europe.
Yeah, we had so much better diets than those bumpkin Europeans. Unlike those greedy Grinches, we gained wealth by helping the poor and giving food to them. Can you believe that?
You, what did you just call me?
Bumpkin.
Say that one more time. I take your wife and your daughters and give them to my men. Yes. Exactly what my husband said. Absolutely no one starved in our villages, unless we all did.
Also, we didn't have those terrible contagious diseases out here. Don't really know why, but we were living happy lives until those Europeans came in.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I am the scientist from the future. I actually have a logical explanation for why the natives didn't have any contagious diseases in their societies. One possible theory is that because the people in the Americas walked through the cold climates of the north, it acted as a natural deterrent to bacteria, which thrives in warmer environments. Another theory, natives had no domesticated animals, which is the suspect of 3 terrible diseases in Europe, including measles, smallpox, and influenza.
How do we trust this shady guy?
Exactly as what the scientist said. We didn't even have large animals to domesticate to begin with.
Wait, I think I learned that in history class back in Spain. Senora Furi taught me very well about domesticating animals. I remember.
Well, my son would still be alive if it weren't for your horrendous diseases that you brought to us.
That is awkward.
Cut! Cut! Did you forget your lines again, Columbus? I am so disappointed in you.
Oh, I'm so very sorry, sire. It will not happen again, I swear to God.
What is God?
Oh, I totally forgot. I am here to convert you all to the great religion of Christianity. You will know what God is soon enough.
That is for another time. This video is on the diseases that were spread by the Europeans and the humongous death tolls that resulted from that. Get back on topic, boys, or you get 5% deducted off your salary, alright?
I think it's time for a vibe check. I am feeling a little sick. I think it's just an ordinary case of smallpox, though, to which me and my fellow Europeans have built an insane immunity. No big deal.
What is smallpox?
As you just saw, the diseases carried by the Europeans were deadly to the natives, accounting for almost 90% of their deaths, because their western bodies had not been exposed to the diseases of the east. This series of casualties is known as the, get ready for it, the Great Dying. At the heart of the world's most terrible epidemics, smallpox was a deadly, most times fatal disease that spread through coughs, sneezes, and contact with bodily fluids. Symptoms include rashes on the face, hands and forearms, in addition to flu-like symptoms. You also get rashes on your trunks, as the disease spreads throughout the body. The trunk is the torso of your body, if some of you did not know that.
Indeed, and I must say, the impacts on our people are devastating. Adults and elders are the first ones to go, which is so sad because they have the deepest knowledge and experience on our culture and tradition. We are literally losing our identity through this epidemic.
Oh, honey, don't be so pessimistic. It's not like all of the adults will die, right?
Smallpox is a crowd disease, meaning that once it runs out of hosts in a population, it dies out. Most times, whole communities will get wiped out, and then the disease would die out. But a few generations later, when the community rebuilds itself, the sneaky disease attacks it once again. This is the nature of smallpox and why it is considered the world's most deadly disease at that time.
My name is Thomas Harriet. I am noticing large amounts of death from dumb small diseases, and it is very strange how they don't know what smallpox is and how to cure it. Whole villages are dying at a time. This is quite strange.
Whoa! Everyone is basically dead. Sick, more land. Ha ha ha!
But the natives carried the disease that the Europeans did not know about. Syphilis, which led to sores on their mouths and genitals.
Ha ha ha! That one's for you bumpkins killing off hundreds of thousands of our people. Consider yourself lucky compared to us.
Oh yeah? Fine. I hope you don't like your land because I'm taking it. Then we'll convert you all to Christianity and make you work on the farm and turn you into slaves.
This is why some Europeans began to think that North America was a sparsely populated territory available to them to colonize. But in reality, they thought this because so many natives were dying from the horrendous diseases from Europe.
My aunt's uncle's sister's friend's mother's grandmother's nephew was part of the Muskogee tribe, and they numbered over 200,000 when the Europeans landed. But by the time they actually visited the villages, that number had dropped to an astonishing 20,000.
Healing is a very important part of our religious ceremonies. We did so many ceremonies, I can't even count how many. We thought these ceremonies would help cure the diseases, but they didn't. Come, let us begin to lose faith in our traditional spiritual ways.
This made it easier for Christian missionaries to convert the natives to Christianity. The natives thought that the people immune to smallpox, aka the Europeans, carried the cure, which converted many of them to Christianity. And that's it for today's episode, history buffs. Here are the main points of this video. Christopher Columbus set sail after getting approval from the King and Queen of Spain, thinking he would reach India by traveling west from Spain. However, he landed on the Bahamas, which was in the Caribbean. The Europeans were far more advanced in technology than the natives. They had guns, swords, navigational equipment, and other tools that Aboriginal people of America had never seen before. This is what the European advantage refers to. Disease was brought to the New World, and the natives had absolutely no tolerance or immunity to terrible diseases such as smallpox, influenza, and measles. Consequently, about 90% of the Indian population, meaning 9 out of 10 people in the Americas, died after these diseases spread far and wide from person to person. These diseases usually wiped out whole communities, and therefore their entire culture. This is what the Great Dying refers to. Thanks for listening, guys, and see y'all in the next episode.